Real Madrid's preseason is heating up with big stories everywhere. Kylian Mbappé shows support for Rodrygo amid exit rumors, Arda Güler is pushing for a starting spot against Osasuna, and the club continues to dominate UEFA rankings. But that's not all. New transfer targets like Adam Wharton, Vinicius Jr.'s contract standoff, and Xabi Alonso's first season pressure are adding plenty of drama at the Bernabéu. Let's break down all the key moments, transfers and contract updates shaping Los Blancos ahead of the new season. Real Madrid star Kylian Mbappé this week moved to send a message of appreciation the way of a fellow member of Los Blancos' attacking ranks. The player in question? Rodrygo. Frontman Rodrygo has of course seen his name re-emerge as an altogether prominent one in the headlines in Spain's capital over the last 48 hours. Rodrygo was for his part back on the pitch in Real Madrid colors on Tuesday, featuring off the bench in the club's friendly meeting with WSG Tirol. Not only that, but the 24-year-old was amongst the goal scorers en route to an eventual 4-0 result. And as alluded to above, post-match in Innsbruck, teammate Kylian Mbappé moved to show his support for his exit-linked teammate. In a post on his official Instagram account, Mbappé, who notched a brace against WSG Tirol, unveiled a photo of he and Rodrygo, accompanied by the caption, Mundo Deportivo reports that Arda Güler is giving Xabi Alonso a real selection headache ahead of Real Madrid's La Liga opener against Osasuna. The 20-year-old Turkish playmaker stole the spotlight in the friendly win over WSG Tirol, impressing with his creativity, vision, and attacking drive. Many fans believe he could be on the verge of a true breakout season at the Santiago Bernabéu, especially with Madrid still lacking a natural number 5 in midfield. Although some remain cautious about putting too much pressure on him too soon, Güler's performance showed he can change games, potentially marking a key moment in his young career. Stunning performance highlights. In Real Madrid's preseason match, Güler stood out as the team's best player. He came close to scoring twice with efforts that hit the crossbar and provided a precise assist for Kylian Mbappé. On another occasion, he left the French forward one-on-one with the goalkeeper, further demonstrating his playmaking quality. His impact has left a strong impression on fans and the coaching staff, putting him in contention for a starting spot against Osasuna on August 19th. Opportunity amid competition. Questions remain about Güler's long-term role, particularly once Xabi Alonso has Federico Valverde, Eduardo Camavinga and Jude Bellingham available again after their absences due to their respective absence. However, the young midfielder is facing a unique opportunity to establish himself in the first team. If he maintains the form shown in preseason, it could be difficult for anyone to displace him from the starting 11. Güler's performances suggest that he could play a central role in the squad this season, and fans will be eager to see if the Turkish midfielder can translate his preseason promise into consistent performances in La Liga. The UEFA Champions League has historically been a competition Real Madrid have dominated, and the club's legacy of being the biggest institution in the sport has a lot to do with that metric. Los Blancos, over the years, have turned up time and time again in Europe irrespective of their form domestically, and their tally of 15 titles in the competition puts them out of reach and sight of any competition. While there is no single metric that projects an accurate image of exactly how dominant the club have been in the event, UEFA club rankings do justice on that front compared to other metrics. Needless to say, the men in white have been in the number 1 position for most of the recent past. Still at the top. As confirmed on UEFA's official website, Real Madrid continues to be number 1 on the club rankings ahead of the new season despite their relatively poor performance in the last season. The men in white have 30, 29, 34 and 24.5 points in the 2021-22, 22-23, 23-24 and 24-25 seasons respectively, thus taking their tally to 117.5 with the upcoming season calculated as the 5th season at 0 points. Their closest competitors are Bayern Munich on 108.25 while Inter Milan are third on 107.25 points. Barcelona remain the closest placed Spanish side and are in 9th place with 83.25 points. Last season was a low point for Real Madrid in their recent 5-year UEFA ranking, as they were eliminated in the quarterfinals by Arsenal. With fresh signings and a new manager, Los Blancos are determined to improve their performance and reclaim their dominance in Europe this season. Meanwhile, Real Madrid is once again targeting top talent from the Premier League. Even though the English league is highly competitive, Madrid's reputation allows them to attract standout players. Crystal Palace, for example, have enjoyed recent success, winning both the FA Cup and Community Shield. When smaller clubs perform well, their best players often attract interest from Europe's giants, and Madrid is no exception in scouting these rising stars. Palace have also been demoted from the Europa League to the Europa Conference League due to a multi-club ownership saga. This is a huge disappointment for the club, which could be a factor in players wanting to leave. Eberechi has been linked with Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal, whilst Mark Guéhi is subject to interest from Liverpool. Now, another Palace star will also potentially be leaving Selhurst Park. The Daily Mail has published an article linking Adam Wharton with Real Madrid. Is Real Madrid the right move for Adam Wharton? Wharton is a highly rated defensive midfielder who is just 21 years old. However, he missed much of last season with a groin injury. The player has one senior England cap and needs to be playing regularly if Thomas Tuchel is going to take him to the World Cup next year. Game time may not come easily for Wharton at Real Madrid, as they have Aurelien Tchouameni in his position. At Palace he will play regularly, but if Real Madrid comes knocking, then it is difficult to say no. Wharton will have options, with the player being linked with Manchester United and Bayern Munich as well in the past. Are Real Madrid returning to a Galacticos era? During the club's Galacticos era of the early 2000s, Los Blancos had 3 England players: David Beckham, Michael Owen, and Jonathan Woodgate. Trent Alexander-Arnold has joined Jude Bellingham at the club this summer. History could repeat itself if Wharton were to join the English pair at the Santiago Bernabéu. Real Madrid are into a new era under Xabi Alonso. The club would have been devastated not to have won the Club World Cup. Alonso may be a former Los Blancos midfielder, but he is still under pressure to deliver silverware in his inaugural season as their boss. The ongoing saga surrounding Vinicius Jr.'s contract renewal at Real Madrid has taken another twist. According to El Chiringuito TV, the Brazilian winger's agent was spotted at the club's Valdebebas offices this Wednesday, adding further fuel to speculation about his future. The representative, part of Rock Nation Sports, the agency handling Vinicius affairs, was approached by reporters from the program but refused to answer any questions. His visit comes during a summer in which the forward's renewal has been one of the hottest talking points in Madrid. Standoff over financial demands. Vinicius' current deal runs until June 2027, but the talks to extend it are proving complicated. While both the club and the player are keen to continue together, the 25-year-old wants to renew on his own terms. His camp is holding firm on their financial demands, which reportedly exceed what Real Madrid are currently willing to offer. Entering 2026 without a renewal in place would put the club in a vulnerable position, especially for a player considered a long-term cornerstone of their project. For now, negotiations have been halted, with Vinicius representatives preferring to let the situation cool before returning to the table. Real Madrid yet to match players' expectations. Sources suggest Real Madrid are reluctant to meet Vinicius' proposed wage increase, particularly after a season in which his performances, while strong, may not have warranted a leap into the very top pay bracket at the club. The situation remains delicate, with pressure gradually mounting as time ticks down on his current contract. Although both sides maintain they want to reach an agreement, the next few months could prove decisive in determining whether Vinicius commits his prime years to Real Madrid or whether doubts over his future begin to grow louder. From Güler's breakout potential to Vinicius' uncertain future, and Real Madrid's continued Galacticos ambitions with new targets like Adam Wharton, the Santiago Bernabéu is buzzing this summer. Xabi Alonso's challenge to deliver silverware and integrate fresh talent is only just beginning. Can Los Blancos maintain their dominance in La Liga and Europe? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who will be the star of this new era?